Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. Today we have game 2 of our 3-part series celebrating May the 4th. We have the X-Wing assault on the Death Star. The Y-Wings have had their turn and done what they can, and now it's the turn of Red Squadron to get in there and see if they can stop the super weapon. Once again joining me to go through this epic saga we have
James. I'm here for round 2.
And it wouldn't be right doing Rebels versus Empire without you, to be honest, James. This is me versus you at its core, I feel.
Yeah, I'm sticking around. Let's see how this goes.
So yeah, we have another great game lined up. So, as we said for game 1, this is a 3-part series of an interlinked game. The rules will be available on our Patreon. So if you do want to support us there, you get access to the rules on there so that you can actually play this yourself. Last time, we had the Y-Wings taking on the TIE Fighter Wings. It was a very interesting game, and they managed to take out some of the turbo laser turrets, hopefully giving these X-Wings a little bit of an easier run. But let's quickly run through what each player has. So we have the Empire side on the left hand. I am actually flying today. It's been a while, so hopefully I can dust off those cobwebs and do a fairly good showing for myself. But we have Darth Vader in the TIE Advance with Hate, Fire Control Systems, Proton Rockets, Afterburners, and the Wing Leader card, Agent of the Empire. Supporting Vader, we have 4 Black Squadron Aces, all with targeting computer. So hoping to really get those shots in with Vader and help him take down those pesky rebel scum. And what have we got on the other side there, James?
On the other side, we have some pesky rebel scum. So Ben is representing the rebels in this game, and he has Luke Skywalker with Instinctive Aim, Proton Torpedoes, R2-D2, and the S-Foils. He's also got Wedge Antilles with Marksmanship, Plasma Torpedoes, R3 Astromech, and the S-Foils. And running off the rebels is good old Biggs Darklighter with Ion Torpedoes, R3 Astromech, and the S-Foils. So 3 classic X-Wings, all from the trench run in the film, hoping to make up for what happened with the Y-Wings previously.
I mean, you say makeup. I think that the Y-Wings did a pretty good job. They had a tough time of it.
They did take out 2 turrets, which I think is going to help, especially on this initial approach for the X-Wings.
Yeah, it gives a lot more of a clearer board. I mean, we've got a standard 3x3 board with only, in theory, 2 obstacles on it, which, I'm not going to lie, was actually quite nice to fly through. You didn't have to worry about it so much, so that was quite good. But yeah, so this one, as I said, is going to be an interesting matchup. X-Wings versus TIE Fighters. It's thematic, it's classic, it's the box art for the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one actually pans out. Now, before we get right into the action, I'm curious as to what your thoughts on how you would approach this.
As a more sort of rebel resistance player, I think Ben's got the right idea. Set up in the corner, get a sort of a longer approach so you can hopefully capitalize on these many torpedoes that he has. He's got the full spectrum of them. He's got plasma, proton, and ion.
Yeah.
And if he can land an ion on especially Vader, that could be just a win, I think, at that point.
Yeah,
because take out Vader, you're good.
Yeah, because that would not be very helpful for Vader's wing there. So he definitely, that would be quite handy. Yeah, I agree. I think with the X-Wings, they want to just force those TIE fighters to come to them. And it looks like that they are already thinking, we're going to come straight in for you. you know what? Flying against X-Wings, even though I think the T-70s are a slightly better X-Wing than the T-65, T-65s are still quite scary. They've got fairly good health stats, and they can do work. They're a good workhorse, I feel.
Yeah, the T-70s have some great abilities, but even in this game, like, Biggs can soak up damage for his friends. Wedge has one of the strongest attacking abilities in the game. And Luke, has force that will always be there if you're shooting at him.
Yeah.
There are no pushovers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Luke's ability is actually really good. I think it is one of the strongest force abilities that you'll see, because it's a passive force ability. So you don't have to spend it to do stuff. You just... Right.
And that gives you the option to take those force upgrades that have you spend the force. In this case, Instinctive Aim. Again, classic for the situation, but also really good, especially with Proton Torpedoes on board.
Yeah, I think anything like that, Instinctive Aim, passive sensors, anything that allows you to not have to worry about getting that target lock during your action phase, or getting the token you need during your action phase, is so handy.
Yeah, being able to ignore the movement order of ships and just go, no, I'm still firing a torpedo.
Yeah.
Scary.
It's very scary. And you mentioned about Wedge having probably the best attacking ability. I think it ranks up there with like Fen Rao in the Scum Fang Fighter. I actually think that potentially Wedge might pip Fen Rao a little bit, because Fen Rao needs to get in really close, whereas Wedge can be at any range, and it takes effect straight away, and it's just annoying. I mean, it's possibly one of the most annoying abilities to come up against, because you're like, I'm at range 3, I get a range bonus, and Wedge goes, nope. And you're just like, oh, great, thank you. That's not helpful.
But the Empire does have, one of, if not the greatest pilot the galaxy has ever seen, Darth Vader, with his ability to just spend force for more actions. In a similar way to Luke, I suppose, just going, I'll take a target lock as well.
Yeah.
The fire control system for the Proton Rockets.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of action and efficiency on him.
What makes Vader so good as well for his action efficiency is being Initiative 6. 9 times out of 10, he's going to be one of the last ships moving. He's going to know where everyone is. He's going to be able to capitalize on that. And the only time it'll be slightly different is if I've won road and then Wedge goes after. That's the only time it's going to be different. But generally, you're going to know where your opponent is, and you can capitalize on that. And it's going to be, I think that is going to be something that's going to be really helpful here. Because not only on that, where the Empire is flying in a wing as well, they fly at Vader's initiative. So they all know where their opponent is going to be, and hopefully they can capitalize on that.
Right, hence the targeting computers on them.
Yes.
Really get that benefit. What is the Agent of the Empire part of Vader?
The Agent of the Empire, it's very similar to Veteran Wing Leader that we had for the TIE Fighters last round. But the difference with this one is that you don't actually have to have the same class of ship with you. So you can actually have different ships with you. So
the TIE Advance with just TIEs.
Yeah. So you are a wing leader. Your wingmates must be 2, 3, 4, or 5 TIE LN fighters. So it has to be TIE fighters. While you defend, up to 2 of your wingmates in the attack arc may suffer 1 hit or crit damage to cancel a matching result. So it has that same ability that Veteran Wing Leader has, but it means that you can be a TIE Advance with up to 5 TIE fighters. And it does work with other ships that can actually use that as well. So it is really handy. And also, the artwork for it has Vader's face on it, so
Yeah, I mean,
makes
it's
sense.
built for him, isn't it?
Yeah. But there's some classic flying.
Does it like Red has just clipped that debris and taken a bit of damage for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely classic flying on my part. Doing a one bank and getting a little bit too
I guess
close.
it's a bit like flying a bigger than large base ship with a wing.
Yeah, you I think I'd need to double check it. I think it works out pretty much 2 medium bases in width. It's definitely big. It's definitely bigger than that. I've actually got it in front of me now, so I'm just having a quick look. I think it might.
Too large, I think, isn't it?
No, it is exactly 2 large bases in width. So yeah,
it's not the distance you're used to judging for going around obstacles.
Yeah, not at all. It does make it a bit tricky, especially when, depending on which way you're going. So as we saw, Vader there went to his right. It means the ships on his right are going to be doing a slightly smaller turn, and the ones on the left are doing a slightly larger turn. So yeah, miscued that there, but we have our first shot. It looks like it's Vader.
I think that was into Luke.
Yep. Fire control system. Additional dice for advanced targeting computer's ability, but those are
the dodges.
Sneaky evades there from Luke Skywalker.
Oh, the Force is strong with this one.
Absolutely. Still, at this point, not quite sure exactly who this Force user is, though, in the story, but...
Actually, to be fair, that was more just him piloting. He didn't have to use the Force.
Yeah, I mean, he is an instinctively good pilot, so...
I think Wedge was out of range of Vader, so Wedge here, I think Oni is going to be able to shoot at the yellow? No, not yellow, sorry.
The unmarked one.
The unmarked one.
Possibly. I think it's one of those things as well, looking at it, for Ben, where he's flying up against a wing, he almost knows that, well, if I shoot at Vader, he's just going to pass the damage off. So may as well. I mean, he did have range on Vader, but he's going. Looks like he's going for the unmarked TIE fighter there instead. That's not bad. 2 hits straight away. Oh, having to spend the focus.
Now that TIE has no other defenses.
Yeah, no name ties in there to give them any additional abilities.
Over to Luke, who I assume is going to try and launch a Proton Torpedo whilst he has range.
I mean...
It's a question of who he shoots. Because as you say, Vader can palm off some damage. What do you he's going for Red.
Go for Red.
He's taken a bit of damage already.
And yeah, shooting that Proton Torpedo, and he's actually got the target lock there, so he didn't need to use Instinctive Aim, so hasn't needed to use his...
Okay, fair enough. If you don't need to use it, keep it for those tokens. That's a very good roll, though.
That is, and does he spend the Force to guarantee?
Really? Okay.
Well, there's 2 health left on Red, and he gets 3 evade dice, but that's night for Red there.
Spending it does guarantee it, and I guess he gets it back if he gets shot. Or if he doesn't get shot, he gets it back next turn.
Yeah, so it's only 1. He's not exactly starving himself of Force. So it would be, if I decide to shoot at Luke, then he'll get the Force back anyway.
It looks like that might be your only target.
Yeah. At least for Yellow. Yellow's obviously quite far back, but he is at a range 3 on Luke. But TIE fighters, their guns are running hot at the moment, it would appear.
Let's see what Luke can do about these 2 hits. Gets a Force back for being the defender.
Luke says, no thank you. Darn X-Wings.
Looks like Blue is taking a shot at Biggs.
Yep. Oh, hit crit there.
Okay. can't quite see what that top result is.
So it's a blank evade focus. So you got trail mix there, spending that focus.
So the unmarked one trying to sneak a bit of damage into Biggs.
Oh, nice. These are good dice. And that is a shield.
One shield. Now Biggs to return fire, I think.
Yes, Biggs will get a return shot. No mods though.
I reckon you go for the unmarked one. Yeah.
Looks like it, yeah.
No tokens on it. Vader has a token and force, and it's Vader, so
yeah,
seems your best bet.
Just the one. There we go. Got an evade finally. So that's I think a solid round there for Ben, taking out a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
For just the cost of one shield, I think. Currently, that class is as Ben on top.
So whilst they're doing their movement for the next round, is there any additional rules for this second game in the sort of trio of games?
So all of the rules we've got, some of them are optional, but for this one, the turrets are still in play as per previously. The linking to the next phase of the trio is with Luke Skywalker. He will come back in the next game with the amount of damage he has remaining from this game. If he were to go down in this game, obviously it's not a trio without Luke, so he would come back, but he'd come back with just 2 health. And regardless of how many proton torpedoes he shot, he will come back with a proton torpedo in game 3 because, well, he needs a proton torpedo to try and finish the Death Star off. So, and with Vader...
Sorry.
Yeah, so with Vader and his wing, he will come back with up to 2 TIE fighters if they remain. If no TIE fighters remain, he'll only come back with 1 TIE fighter as a support wing.
So in addition to trying to just win a fairly usual game of X-Wing, Ben is very much trying to keep Luke in particular healthy in this game.
Yeah, that would obviously be the ideal to keep Luke healthy. Obviously, the other option for anyone that wants to recreate this game, you can always just have Luke come back on full health in the next round, but it all depends on how you want to play it. If you want to play it on a bit more of a cause and effect, but again, at the moment we're looking at it, so Luke will have the amount of damage he has left, but that is a nice position for those X-Wings because, well, that's a broken wing now.
Yeah, Biggs getting that bump is going to be crucial, especially since Wedge is already in position.
Yes.
That's going to be a big hit coming from Wedge.
Yeah, and does Yellow take a damage? No, but because the wing broke, he actually classes as going over that debris cloud, so gets double stress.
Because he's now using his own movement template and not borrowing Vader's.
Yeah, he would have avoided it. So again, in this, the lists are built in 2.0, but the actual game mechanics we're playing, so obstacles, bumping, etc., is 2.5 game mechanics. So unmarked TIE will get the option to do a red focus. The blue TIE obviously has to roll for bumping into a friendly ship.
What did he get for it?
He got nothing, no damage, but he gets the stress because he bumped.
So all of the...
Oh no, because they were going to do a 4K, sorry, that's why they got the stress.
Oh, that's not great.
That's a lot of stress there. Yeah, I foolishly forgot that Rebels like to just go 1 forward to victory.
I mean, you're used to flying TIEs, their slowest forward is a 2.
Yeah.
Slam on those brakes.
I mean, TIE fighters don't have brakes. The only way TIE fighters brake is by flying into things.
They don't even have shields.
No. Or life support systems. They are literally just tin cans. That's not a great shot from Wedge.
It's not. That is unfortunate.
what's also quite unfortunate is, although he's got marksmanship, he'd already got the crit. So that is dice that are going all over the place. That's 2 damage, and that's going into blue there. And that crit is a loose stabilizer.
Okay.
That's not good for a TIE fighter. Or any ship, really, but...
I mean, I'm not actually sure if Luke has a shot on Vader, so he might try and finish off blue this round.
Yeah, it's very tight angle there. Vader only has a shot on
Biggs.
On Biggs.
So it's,
Guess one through.
No mods, getting a hit and a crit is pretty good.
Yeah, you don't even get... He didn't have a focus, but he wouldn't have got advanced science computer either. So, well, he could have modded with the Force, actually, but he didn't need to. Because you can still mod with the Force at range 0.
Yeah, giving those Force users just an extra bit of appeal, I think.
Oh, that's an unfortunate one from Luke there.
And they had some pretty good rolls last time. They took a ship off the board. That's dice for you.
Yeah.
They also had some really good green dice in the opening engagement, so this is definitely a bit of a trade-off.
Absolutely. Those green dice in the last round, 1 shield lost. Oh, God.
I mean, that's kind of average. Four dice.
And that is going into yellow, so that's 1 damage on yellow. So what can the 2 TIE fighters do in response? Yellow has no shot because he's facing the wrong way.
Right, yellow, the only one able to actually do the 4K.
Yeah. Now massively regretting it.
Turned around, he
wouldn't have held up.
That's good.
That's good.
Is that?
That's from the unmarked into Biggs.
Okay.
Range 1 into Biggs, and that crit is a direct hit.
Oh, Biggs is
not doing well.
Close to cannon, I think we'll call that.
Oh, and this is blue. Can he finish him off? 2 hits.
No mods on the defense. Needs double evades.
That's only 1. We are sticking to cannon here. Ouch. That's a big swing, actually. Like, 1 X-wing is...
You can't say that's a big swing just after he dies.
Sorry, unintentional pun there.
That's just disrespectful. I mean, give it at least 5 minutes.
Okay. Start the clock. I'll come back in 5 minutes.
Luke going down to only 2 X-wings feels like a big disadvantage, but it is a full health Luke and Wedge.
Yeah.
Luke has only fired 1 proton torpedo. Wedge still has both of his torpedoes.
And their positioning is so much better than the TIE fighters right now because they are stressed and they don't have a lot of room to play in.
Yeah, the only one that is facing kind of the right direction is double stressed.
And it looks like does not clear that 3.
Oh, okay. So bumps Luke. I guess you opt
stays
not to take the red focus, so you can possibly turn around next turn.
Absolutely. And here comes yellow.
Trying blue bank, I'm guessing.
Yes, looking like it. These larger tokens are great, but they can make it a bit tricky finding space on the board to put them and your ships.
True, but for videos, makes it a lot easier.
And
what's the case going on here? Oh, okay. 1
hard.
Oh, okay. Trying to just get in the way, block the X-wings.
I shouldn't have done that, though.
No?
Loose stabilizer.
Oh. Does that get caught, or you only just realised that?
I've just realised that.
Never mind.
So I'm now curious as to whether that's on the right ship, or I've just made a big mistake. But again, it's a casual game. These things happen. So, 3 Talon.
Yeah, that's the best way to do.
It's in that situation.
Just remember to do what you're doing with that one, so you get the back and front positions as well.
I mean, me and Ben, we've played against each other so often that we know. I think between us, we know a lot of the tricks to sort of save having to mark up, because sometimes
you have to mark up like everything, and then it's like who was where, what.
So, and I'll tell you what, I really enjoy playing against Ben. Regardless of the result, we always have an absolutely cracking time when we're playing against each other.
I'm curious to see what Vader can do to at least mitigate damage from Wedge here.
It's pretty much a barrel roll. He doesn't have an engine upgrade on him. I don't even think he can put an engine upgrade anymore.
You have Afterburners though.
Need to do a speed 3 to 5 for Afterburners.
Oh, and you only went 2.
Only went 2, yeah. But I think getting out of range 1s.
Yeah, getting out of range 1 is great.
Yeah. It was required. I got the focus, spent the force for the barrel roll. That's fairly fortunate there. That's incredibly fortunate there.
Yep.
Using the force to say no thank you.
Vader obviously has no shots, so over to Luke, who's got a number of options to shoot at.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably blue because it's 1 health. Because I think
yellow's got 2 health. It's hard to say which one he's going for because
I definitely say don't shoot the full health one that you're touching because you get less dice.
Yeah, you get 1 less dice. I mean, yes, you can mod it with the force, but
how many force is he going to use?
Oh, I think he is going into yellow because he's got the target lock.
Oh, I mean that.
Yeah, definitely use the force there.
Use 1 force. This is into yellow, okay.
Oh, hit crit. That's yellow gone.
Yellow goes down.
That's making up for last turn a little bit there. I mean, we're now.
I mean, with a target lock, range 1, and the force, you'd hope to get at least 2 damage into a ship, really.
Yeah. So just getting one of our spectators, Jamie, to just double check that arc there. And it's miles out.
Just living up to the channel name.
Out of arc gaming. So only shot we have is pretty good.
That is a good shot.
I mean, who needs mods?
Unmarked into Luke.
Unmarked into Luke, and that's a shield gone.
Okay.
We'll take that.
I mean,
we will take that.
We might see Luke head off and use R2 for a second and then come back around.
That is definitely a potential there, I feel.
Especially if, the health of Luke is important for the next game. Use R2D2 in this game, like ahead of time, so you're not having to use him in the 3rd game. To heal up, if that makes any kind of sense.
No, I do. I know exactly what you mean. Like, you've got Wedge in there still, and Wedge can do damage. So, okay. So I think what has happened there is that blue and the unmarked have got mixed up in which one was taking damage.
Okay, so
blue is white and white is blue.
Okay.
Essentially. So we do have a full health TIE fighter and Darth Vader now versus 2 X-Wings, in that, yes, if blue did have the stabilizer,
right, but the positions are a little different.
The health is right, just the color markings are wrong, so it's fine. These things happen. But
If people wanted to replay this and get it right, where could they get the rules for this scenario?
So if you want to replay this properly without my ineptitude, you can actually access the scenario rules for this via our Patreon. We have the link in the description below. Not only will you get access to the full scenario rules that we have nicely typed up ready for you, you will also get to see loads of pictures from some of the behind the scenes stuff. You'll see upcoming game information with really cool pictures of what we have in store. You'll also be able to obviously chat with us. If you go for our highest level, you can actually decide what we will fly on the board. So it could be 2.0, could be 2.5, could be epic, but you would get to decide what we fly. We will do our utmost through either my collection of ships or borrowing from other people to try and source all of those ships to actually go for it. So if you've ever wanted to make someone fly something really stupid, sign up to our Patreon and you can do just that.
Kind of curious what sort of happens from here, because everyone's kind of in odd positions, really. Wedge and Vader are almost too close to each other to really get anything done.
Well, they're about to have a little bit of a tangle.
Oh, sorry, Vader has finished moving.
Vader finished moving. So, I won road, but lost dice. It would appear.
Ooh. Well, oh yeah, definitely in that case.
Yeah.
And now Wedge is going to return fire. So barrel rolled, I guess, to get marksmanship.
Yeah, I could imagine marksmanship and a good solid range. Ouch. No, thank you. That's just
you use a force on that.
Yeah, you have to use a force on that.
What was the crit?
It was 2 shields, so it was fine.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So nothing from Luke. He's just out of range, but Blue is there like. Well, Blue's there like, that's my leader. You can't hit him. So that's 2 hits going into Wedge. That's 2 shields down. These TIE fighters, they are doing work. I said these. This TIE fighter now on his own is doing some work. But it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for the TIEs.
The Y-Wings previously getting rid of those 2 turrets is, I really think, having an impact here. Because if those guns were also shooting at the X-Wings, this could be going completely differently. Yeah.
And I think with hindsight being 2020, I think I should have possibly stayed up the top of that board and just forced the X-Wings to come to me and use them as the additional shots that they should have been.
Yeah, so, you kind of engaged in the area favourable for the X-Wings.
Yeah, it's almost like I've forgot about the turrets and went, just got to get in there and get damage, which is easily done.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're dogfighting. Your first priority should really be damage.
Yeah.
Even with like the new scenarios, if you can kill a ship, you get a lot of points.
Oh yeah, I mean, I played some of the scenarios the other night, and one of my opponents decided to take Darth Vader in the Defender. Flew him through 11 points.
11? Okay.
Flew him through a gas cloud with 4 TIE fighters, with my 4 TIE fighters behind him. So I went, okay, you're strained and you're now ioned. I'll take that shot. And then dropped a seismic charge on the gas cloud as well, so that he took a lot of damage there. It was quite nice.
Got some more finicky maneuvering going on.
Trying the Afterburners boost there.
Okay.
Doesn't quite fit, unfortunately.
Aww. I mean,
bit of a shame.
Worth a try. You're still safe-ish from Luke.
Well, I think Luke might be able to sneak a shot. Wedge could definitely get a shot now. Luke and Vader at an awkward angle. Like Luke's slightly off parallel, so he might not have shot. I would appear do have a shot.
That's a good shot.
It's a very good shot. Spending a force to do that, and then advanced targeting computers should be turning one of those to a crit. But that is a lot of damage into Luke there. Oh yeah, there we go. Advanced targeting computer crit. And that is a loose stabilizer on Luke.
Okay.
That is pretty good there.
Can Wedge make up for all that damage that Luke just took? No. Wow. I do feel like, especially having R3 Astromech on board, Wedge maybe should be taking some more target locks. Granted, he's done a 4K this turn.
Yeah. Oh, but that's a great return shot from Luke. Wow. Vader now has no force because he wanted to keep some life there. That was
free force to use, though, is so good.
Just it's a great resource, but one that you've got to be careful not to rely on. Because if you start relying on it too much, you just then starve yourself of force. And there are certain pilots that are okay with that. Luke, for example.
Yeah, Luke is the best way to learn how to use the force before going into some of the pilots like Vader, who use it in more specific ways.
I mean, Vader's got hate on him, so that when he does take damage, he will regain a force for each point of damage. But you still don't really want to be taking that damage. It's almost like a backup plan that you hope to never use.
Right, it's more of a if it happens, don't hope that it happens kind of thing.
Oh, we do have an R2-D2 trigger there from Luke, regaining a shield.
Seems sensible. You're on 2 hull, no shields, and you're unlikely to get a shot. I mean...
got a loose stabilizer, so you have to do a straight.
Yeah, and he was stressed, so couldn't do another K turn to guarantee some sort of shot on Vader. So that seems reasonable. Take the disarm token.
I'm wondering if he'll use his action. Yeah, there we go. Action to repair loose stabilizer. I think that is the right option there with Luke. And now that Luke's not there, I can do that one bank. Again, tricky because Vader's stressed. He can't get back around. Like, it would have been absolutely ideal there to have Luke have a shot at Luke, but it just wasn't to be.
What's Wedge doing? Or is he just bumping into blue? Oh, yeah, I think that's a bump, isn't it?
Yeah, just bumping into blue. Oh, that's close. That was remarkably close.
Potentially giving him a shot on Vader? No.
I think he. Yeah, range 2 shot on Vader.
The bump. Although I guess if he had finished the move, he would have still got the shot.
Yeah.
He just denied him his mods.
Oh, that's a great shot. 2 damage going through. Gets all his force back, though, with hate. So that backup plan you never want to use is coming into effect.
So Vader is now unstressed, back up to full force. Could he turn around, fire off a proton rocket, and finish off Luke or Wedge? I mean, they're both on the same health now.
It is possible, yeah. I mean, Wedge has just taken quite a solid hit there, so unexpected.
Oh, sneaky little 4K behind Wedge.
Yeah, love a little sneaky K. It was a 3K actually.
3K, so used to X-Wings.
Yeah, it got access to the 3 and 4K, so 3K is definitely more powerful. Yeah. But it if needs be, have a shot on Luke if Wedge is not in position.
Oh, that's. I was going to say that's quite fast, but of course it's a town roll, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nice aggressive play.
Afterburners off of that?
You can. It's a speed 3 to 5 maneuver, and you can do it even more stressed.
Yep. Close that gap a bit. Also, I think. Yeah, I think that closes the gap enough to give you a shot, at least on Luke. Although if Wedge sits right there, they might be just shooting each other.
Yeah, do you go Wedge or Luke in that? I mean,
who does Vader have the lock on? He's got the lock on Luke?
Vader's got the lock on Luke, so go for Luke.
Also, considering the next scenario is like damage Luke for a benefit, go for it.
Yeah, that was
good.
That was good. So that's that shield. That's a hit crit. Or is he spending that force?
I think he spend it.
I think you have to. Yeah. So just that shield gone
good
again.
R2D2.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade I haven't actually seen on the board for a while.
It's quite an expensive upgrade, which is why I don't think you see it very often.
Oh.
That Vader is already doing the tumble.
Wedge.
Marksmanship plus that focus, that is...
Plus a good roll.
Yeah, it was a great roll, but he had all of the tools there to just...
Right, come on, Black Squadron Ace, you got this.
Yep. One Black Squadron versus 2 X-Wings that are both quite damaged. He could do this, right?
Yeah.
I believe in him.
I'll be honest.
Plus, say that these TIE fighters have actually done more work than Vader has, and TIE fighters are surprisingly good. They for points to what they can do, they are very efficient.
They just sit there, they're not a lot of points, so you're like, oh, I'll shoot Vader instead. And then eventually they blink away at your health and just sneak that damage through, potentially a little bit there.
One crit going through, and it's a stunned pilot.
Returning 5 from the tie. Can he sneak through the damage? Not quite.
No, I think it's always going to be tricky. Range 3 shot with 2 force is always going to be tough. But the TIE fighter could do all right here, I reckon. I mean, Luke's stressed, so he's going to have to do a blue to... Oh, that's a good move.
Now, do you barrel roll with Luke just to keep him safe? Or do you just leave him there and take the shot?
I honestly think he just leaves him there and takes the shot.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going for.
Yeah. Because what's that?
He's got double force, so it's basically fully modded.
Yeah.
Wedge probably out range? It might just be a range 3.
I think he was just at range 3. That is such...
Oh, and Wedge with another amazing roll on the attack dice.
That is... only just...
Focus, just lives. Now he's got to survive a range 1 shot from Luke. And
he has a fuel leak. Not that that matters.
Well, he's got a lot more problems than just a fuel leak. Although, not the best roll from Luke. He needs to roll into something good here.
He's got that target lock. Oh, that's
there is a chance.
Good.
Spends 1 force to get that. Oh, there's the banks.
That was
unfortunate for the Empire, but is 1 win for the Empire in round 1. Now we've got a win for the Rebels in round 2.
And it is also keeping it thematic as well. So Biggs is down, Luke and Wedge are still around. It's time for the trench run, I feel. But it's going to make it an interesting trench run with Luke having a fair amount of damage already suffered there, though.
Yes. So trench run video coming out
Tomorrow
for
May the 4th.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. James, thank you very much for joining us, by the way.
You're welcome. I'm always happy to do one of these commentaries with you, especially a thematic one. I like the thematic games.
They are good fun. But guys, again, thank you very much for watching this video. This is part 2 of our 3-part Star Wars Celebration series. Tomorrow is May the 4th, and we will be finishing off with the trench run. So like this video, click that subscribe button, get the notification bell on to know exactly when it comes up. Link in the description for the Patreon and the full rules for this scenario setup. But in the meantime, we will see you next time.